FIRE stands for Financial Independence Retire Early. That means you can retire before 67, which would be the standard retirement age here in Germany. And that also means that you need significant investments because the average man gets 1,700 euro from the government and the average woman 1,300 euro. All with 67 and all pre-tax. The good news is, it is possible to retire early. It's maybe not what social media is trying to sell you, but it's possible if you do it right, no matter where you start. So let me show you exactly the steps that you need to take to become financially independent, so you can resign from your job and tell your boss to go f*** himself. If you are really serious about becoming financially independent, start asking yourself, why? I know social media portrays this image that everything is super fun and you can drink pina colada at the beach all day, but one thing's for sure. Becoming financially independent is a long road that is not gonna be easy. This will take a lot of discipline, a lot of sacrifice, and long-term thinking, which we humans are usually not the best at. So ask yourself, how does financial freedom look like for you? Is it really pina coladas on the beach? And if so, when? Or do you want to quit the job that you hate and have more time for your hobbies? Do you want to stop worrying about money, which is the major factor for me because my family was pretty poor? Once you know what motivates you from deep inside, you're much more likely to stick to the plan. Speaking about a plan, now that we know why we want to be financially independent, let's make a plan for that. Because everyone dreams about financial independence, but without a plan, the chances of us actually getting there is pretty slim. So depending on what financial freedom means for you, calculate how much money you need for that. Probably the most popular calculation method is the 4% rule. The 4% rule says that you can withdraw 4% of your portfolio every year and you will probably not run out of money over a 30-year period. Now, I don't like this rule. First, because you would need to lower your spending if your portfolio value goes down. 4% of 1 million is much less than 4% of 2 million. Quick math. And second, if you want to retire early, 30 years might not be enough. And if you run out of money before you run out of life, you're in deep. If you believe in the 4% rule, just multiply your annual spending by 25 to have your FIRE number. That would be 1.23 million for the average German salary of 49,000 euros. Taxes and social security ignored here. If you want to be a little safer with the 3% rule, you multiply your spending by 33 to reach 1.63 million euro for the average German salary. And if you want to be really safe, use the 2% rule and multiply your spending by 50 to come to 2.45 million euro. I know that's a lot of money, but this would also give you a lot of safety, because you will probably never ever run out of money if you withdraw only 2% of your portfolio every year. If you ever made some form of plan before, you know one thing, life will get in the way, sometimes without you even noticing it. Inflation might creep up, you might start a family. Every one of us has a million different excuses why we don't reach the goals that we want to reach. So, if life happens, be prepared to adjust your plan if necessary. When you make a plan and find out that you need to save at least 1.23 million, as in the example that we had just a moment ago, you probably have the first holy moment when you compare your FIRE number with what's currently on your bank account. Oh boy. And that's when you find out that you need to budget. If you start with €0 right now and want to reach 1.23 million in 10 years, you would need to invest more than 7,000 euro per month. Almost 2,500 to reach 1.23 million in 20 years, and still over 1,000 euro per month to reach it in 30 years. That's a lot of money, so I guess we can agree on one thing. You need to live below your means if you want to become financially free. There's no way around it. Another popular rule to help you do that is the 50-30-20 rule. You spend 50% of your income on necessary things, food or housing, 30% on things that you want, eating out or a nice vacation, and invest the remaining 20% for your future. Now, depending on your exact income and your personal FIRE number, 20% might not be enough and you need to save more. Think about it this way. The more money you save, the less you will spend. The less money you spend, the less you need in savings in order to reach your FIRE number. What separates our way of approaching FIRE compared to many other people in the FIRE community is that we don't believe religiously in the super frugal lifestyle that only looks at minimizing costs by any means necessary. I was watching this documentary from Arte a while ago, and the couple on the thumbnail is, at least in my humble opinion, the perfect example how FIRE should not work. When he's in the grocery store, he calls his girlfriend why she wants him to buy Spätzle for €2.50 instead of spaghetti for 80 cents. And then later on, they buy new furniture for the kids for more than 10,000 euros. Is it just me, or is this completely ridiculous? Do we realize that there's two sides to this equation? If we want to save more money, we can either spend less or earn more. Not spending €5 on that Starbucks coffee will delay your financial freedom by an hour or two, but earning €1,000 more and investing that money will get you a lot faster where you want to be. So instead of tracking your expenses in nitty-gritty detail with tons of Excel sheets and not allowing Spätzle for €2.50 in your life, I love my Spätzle if you can't tell, how about you use that time and develop your career or start a side hustle? Increasing your income without increasing your lifestyle, of course, is the true key to achieving financial freedom, if you ask me. If you can't increase your income or don't want to do it, fine, then at least try to increase your savings. Earlier this year, I changed my mobile phone provider, which will save me a couple of €100 every year. And for many years, I used the Kleingeldsparen from ING. When I pay with my debit card, ING automatically rounds up to the next €5 and invests the difference for me. Absolutely awesome mechanism that helped me save thousands of euros over the years without even noticing it really. The link to ING Kleingeldsparen is in the description in case that you want to try it out yourself. 10 out of 10 recommendation from my side. Speaking about debit and credit cards, a couple of weeks ago, somebody booked a meeting with us with this text. He overdrafted his bank account, which is usually around 10% interest. He has credit card debt, which is usually around 15% interest. And he has a personal loan as well, and says the fees are killing him. I understand you, my man. All of these high interest loans are absolutely toxic to wealth building and achieving financial freedom. Loans are the exact opposite of freedom actually, so get rid of them. Pay them off if you can, and if not, at least try to consolidate everything in a personal loan that is not costing you double-digit interest every year. Should you get rid of all loans, as other financial advisors like Dave Ramsey tell you to do? Not in my opinion, because mortgages for investment properties can help you achieve financial freedom faster than anything else. Here's an example calculation from a client of ours that bought a property a while ago. He invested a little below 30,000 euros and will get a return on equity of over 20% with additional tax benefits, of course, while he's holding the property. And in 10 years, he could sell the property completely tax-free. Show me any other investment out there with those numbers. You can book a free meeting with us right here if you find any, or if you want us to work on your very own financial freedom journey. Now that we live below our means, worked on increasing our income, and got rid of high interest loans, it is finally time to establish our emergency fund. Why do we need this? Because life will happen. We talked about it. And if your washing machine breaks or you need to repair your car, it would be a shame if you have to touch your investments. You don't want to sell your ETFs if the market is down. You don't want to touch your pension and pay unnecessary taxes. And you definitely don't want to sell your investment property because you run out of money. Protect yourself. And most important of all, protect your investments against unforeseen emergencies. If you successfully did all these points I mentioned so far, you're a real champ. And you're a lot more likely to become financially independent than all these people out there that just talk the talk but never walk the walk. You only need to walk the last 2 steps, the cherry on top, which starts by investing your money. What can you invest in? ETFs can be a really great idea inside an investment account if it's only for a couple of years, or inside a pension scheme to shield you from taxes. like real estate that you can sell completely tax-free after 10 years. Because you mapped out your personal financial freedom journey earlier in this video, you can now determine which financial products are right for you. That's much better than going on Reddit or anywhere else on the internet and doing blindly what a random person suggests without even knowing your situation. How do you know that you're on the correct path of selecting the right investments if you end up with multiple different assets and not just one single investment? I know, the internet tells you to invest in one single ETF and be done with it. But hopefully you see that we have a different perspective than most in the FIRE movement. And hopefully you can learn something from this video. I strongly believe that diversification is key to investment success. That's why you will never hear me say that one investment is better than the other. Nobody knows the future, and nobody knows what investment will be the best going forward. But what we do know is that people who diversify their portfolio won over the people that treated investing like gambling. Everything on red. Becoming financially independent is not gonna be easy. And it's certainly not gonna be from one day to the other like social media tries to make you believe. It's hard work and determination over many, many years. But in the end, it will all be worth it if you know why you're doing it. And now you know exactly what steps to take no matter where you are on the journey. I hope you learned something, and I hope to see you again next week when we're all a little bit closer to financial freedom as we are today.